Welcome to Grill for Good, the podcast where two smoking pastors turn good barbecue into a life-changing generosity.
Oh man, we did it! We went
here.
All right, I'm going to do the script, Jordan. All right,
Go for it.
Grill for Good, the podcast where two smoking pastors turn barbecue into life-changing generosity. We believe food brings people together, and great barbecue can change communities. This is hosted by Scott Bartlow from Bartlow's Barbecue. That's me, a pitmaster and a pastor who loves helping people create bold flavors with a bigger purpose. And our co-host, Jordan Davis from the Smoking Pastor Project, feeding the hungry one smoked meat at a time. And he does it amazingly. Together, we're here to inspire you to serve your neighbors, bless your community, and grill for good. So fire up the pit, maybe right now, but maybe right now, and open up your heart. This is Grill for Good.
Oh yeah, it's here, baby.
AI helping you write a intro script.
Man, it would have been, if I would have wrote it, it'd been like, hey y'all, we're gonna cook some stuff, we're gonna talk about some stuff, and we're gonna see some stuff. See ya.
Yeah, peace out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
Our two worlds. I live in Oklahoma, and you live in
Indiana, baby. Go Hoosiers. I'm not really a Hoosier fan, but you know.
Boomer Sooner, baby. Come on now, Oklahoma Sooner. Nope. See, we're already at odds. I love it, man. But so we're states apart, but we have an Oklahoma connection. This is how we got brought together. You went to school out here.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other then.
No. And I think we met a couple times at crossings, but man, just kind of like haphazard. And then, man, years later, who would have thought? Like 12 years later.
Yep. So barbecue, pastoring, two of our things that we've been doing in different states. And then finally, when we started connecting on Instagram and a few other places, we were like, oh, I mean, we should stay connected. We both have a similar passion, like this hobby that's turned into something more than just a hobby.
Yeah.
And then we also have our church background. So that's kind of what inspired us to go, you know what? We both are doing ministry and barbecue and trying to serve people. What if we started a podcast where we actually could inspire other people to essentially grill for good? That's the spirit of the name, is just like, man, do good. What if your grill could be more than just cooking for yourself and your family, but make a greater impact? So we thought, man, let's start doing one once a month. This will be the first Thursday of the month, where we hope inspire you. And really, it's gonna charge both of us up to continue to do that kind of work. Would you add anything else to that?
I would say, like, we know the barbecue world probably doesn't need another podcast. What we want this to be is different, is like telling the story of the unsung heroes of barbecue. Like, there's people out there. I'm finding out, like, once we started doing it, we're finding out there's people doing this kind of stuff everywhere. Yep. And so we want to tell those stories and hear from those people, learn from those people. You know, I believe in the barbecue world, none of us are experts. Everybody's a learner. So, like, what can we learn from each other? Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'm really excited about that, because you're right. There's so many, like, we've been to competitions, we've been to different shows and different things like that. We both have our own seasoning brands as well. And we get to see firsthand amazing companies and more importantly, individuals, because behind every brand is a person. And they've got a story that they're trying to tell. And there's so many great things happening. So we're excited to not only share our story, but we can't wait to share other stories. And even we'll talk about this at the end, but even people that don't have a brand that you just know that are grilling, and they just love cooking, and they think maybe I could do something more. We hope to also target that guy and gal to get inspired. So and get to know who are those people, and so maybe that's also a community for you through this podcast.
Absolutely.
Well, to kick us off, I thought maybe now we kind of share a little bit of how we got together. I'd love to dive in a little bit with hearing your story as a way of going, why Grill for Good? Like, why should we do this? But mainly, let's kick off going, let's hear Jordan's story, and then we'll hear a little bit about my story here in a moment. But let's start. What's your background? And then how did you get into barbecue and cooking for the masses and starting a nonprofit?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I've just always been a foodie. I've always been the kid that would stay inside and cook with my mom. I was like a sick kid as a kid. I couldn't go outside and play. And I think I just grew up inside. And then I think if I look back, like we moved to Texas, Houston, Texas, when I was little. And I just remember vividly like going to barbecue restaurants. That was our Sunday thing. And I think that's what it started is, man, community happens around barbecue. And even at a young age, I knew that we were going to Luther's Barbecue, off I-10 in Katy, Texas on Sunday afternoons, and we were going to go eat some brisket and some ribs.
That's what I'm talking.
And I mean, I remember that. And then I remember, my dad, that was one of the big kind of common things that we would have. I remember him making burgers and stuff on the grill, and he's more of a grill guy, wasn't a smoker. I didn't get around a smoker until I bought one, years later.
Yeah.
But he was always the grill guy, making his own barbecue sauce and making onion burgers before I knew what an onion burger really was. And not an Oklahoma onion burger. We're talking just fried onions.
Okay. Well, is there a difference? Come on.
I don't know. I don't know. People say there is. I don't know. I like the onions in the burger, like an Oklahoma
Ooh,
burger.
okay. All right.
But that kind of, I think, was what spurred it on. And then, like most stories, right before COVID, actually, I started buying smokers. Always had a grill. We moved here to Indianapolis, and I didn't have anything with me.
Yeah.
And typical Facebook Marketplace, I found an Oklahoma Joe offset, and I'm like, I'm going to learn this. And this was like 2019.
Yep.
And so got Oklahoma Joe and quickly just fell in love. I think barbecue definitely turned into a passion very fast for me. But it was kind of a reprieve from a job as a pastor. You're obviously you deal with the stress as a kids pastor. I was dealing with a lot of like I needed joy outside my job is what I talk about a lot. And so I found that was barbecue. And then quickly I have a hospitality heart. Like we always laugh, like if you're a church person, spiritual gifts, like hospitality is always my top. And I'm like, God, why is like, isn't that a girl's gift? No, it's this is me. And I love serving people. And so my wife and I, Katie, we love just feeding people. And so it quickly turned into, oh, this is a hobby. And then it turned into, will you cook for me? Will you cook for this? Will you cook for this? And then we started doing big barbecues at our church. And all of a sudden it turned into me feeding hundreds of people a lot. And my wife's like, what if we started like a business and did this as a business? And I'm like, great. Well, here's the deal, guys. I am not a business guy. I'm not this dude right here. We gave it away and I was losing money like crazy. And I'm like, if we're going to do this, like my passion is to feed people and build community around barbecue. And so we're like, what if this is a nonprofit? And so we started doing free food events and quickly realized like that is exhausting. Even today, I booked an event and I try to only book 4 or 5 events throughout the year that are like mass serving free food events for thousands of people. So I booked an event today where I'm going to feed 4,000 people in a few weeks, and then another event in the summer where we'll probably do about 5,000.
Wow.
And those just exhaust you as a leader, and especially as your volunteers.
Yep.
So I was really praying, like, God, I believe you're calling us to this. What do you want from us? And I was sitting in a room with one of our head of our board, and he said, dude, like you're going to go exhausted, especially as you're working a full-time job. Like, this is not going to work. What do you want to do? And I said, I think I'm supposed to be the largest producer of fully cooked prepackaged meat for food pantries. And he said, where did that come from? And I said, I don't know. And it's like straight up, that was a God moment.
Yeah.
And we had started a food pantry at our church and we're seeing the need. So quickly I started doing a lot of research, and there is nobody really doing a lot of healthy proteins for food pantries. Which is also a little hard because there's not a model that is out there.
Yep.
And so we started going for it. We started with one food pantry and then a couple, and now we are trying to serve as many as we can and trying to get up to 12 to 15,000 pounds a month is our goal right now. So
I mean, stop to think about that. That's a lot of food.
It's a lot of meat. It is a lot. That's a lot of pork butts and a lot of chicken. I'll just tell you.
Yeah. That's incredible. And so now you started the Smoking Pastor Project.
Yeah.
Birthed out of that, how it started many years ago, and literally feeding hundreds to thousands of people throughout the year.
I mean, we tried to put numbers to it last year. Like I said, I'm not a good business guy, but like we're working on systems now. But there was events last year where we definitely fed over 15,000 people last year just at free food events.
My gosh.
And Man, it's been awesome. And then the barbecue community has been great for us. We're able to really connect with so many people and so many brands now. Like literally, the only thing I pay for is meat and fuel. Not fuel for the smoker, the fuel for the trucks that drive.
Yeah, sure.
Because companies like Smoky Woods and Yoder and Lone Star and every seasoning brand you can think of sends us stuff for free
Yeah.
for us to do videos. So TikTok's been really good for us. We do a lot of TikTok videos and shout out these companies, but then we get literally thousands of pounds of seasoning a year for free that we're able to use. And I love highlighting those small brands. So that's part of the project now too, is we were
Yeah.
talking about this earlier. Like,
Yeah.
how can I go find the mom and pop seasoning brands and say, hey, like we would love to promote you. We're not some huge creator, but we do a lot. And you can be part of a bigger picture of your seasoning is not only going to go on a video, your seasoning is going to go out the door for free at a free food event.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's actually helping feed families
yeah,
that have need.
yeah,
Yeah, I just love that. And we've been able to be a part of that with your mission
yeah.
as you started that dream. And I'm just grateful. And so guys, if you're watching, you need to go follow at Smoking Pastor. What's your website? So if people are like, I'm interested in supporting this,
Yeah.
what's your website?
SmokingPastorProject.com. You can go on there. You can get our sauces and seasonings, which all that goes to help our nonprofit. But then you can donate there. We're always looking for monthly donors. Like I say, that's the bread and butter of nonprofits. Yes, if somebody
Yeah.
out there wants to give us $5,000, we can, for every $10, we can put 4 pounds of meat in a food pantry. But a lot of
Yeah.
people can't do that, and so those $20 a month, like you don't understand, like that is the life and breath of a nonprofit, because that guarantees how much meat I can buy every month out the door for free.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've worked in my background and as a pastor at different food pantries, and something that maybe people don't know is a lot of these food pantries get their food through the regional food bank of their state. And you made a really important point that a lot of these places don't get meat.
Yeah. Well, and if they are, it's junk. I mean, just honestly, like nothing against the big chicken companies, but I go in food pantries and I see liver and gizzards and stuff that I don't even know what is, and I feel like I know meat pretty well. And so we're solving a couple of problems. We're
Yeah.
fully cooking it, and we're cooking it with a lot of just SPG. And so they can make tacos out of it. They can make enchiladas out of it. They can put it in Greek bowls for chicken. They can do it a lot of different ways. But if they don't know how to cook or don't have the means to cook,
Yeah.
let's just be honest. We're in a world that's pretty crazy right now, and a lot of people are here. And no matter what you believe, they
Yep.
may not have a stove to cook on, or they may have one burner and be trying to feed 25, 30 people.
Yep.
They can be making rice on that bowl or on that burner, and we provide protein. So we pack in 1, 3, and 5 pound containers.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
I love it. Hey, so I'm just realizing that I have to remember we've got chat. Have you seen the chat?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Let's pause our stories and getting into mine here in a second, and let's together read the chat. Make sure we're not missing anything. Let's acknowledge Blazing Jet. Y'all are truly.
Hey, Tim Hughes in here.
Come on, what's up?
Tim's got to connect with this dude right here. Let's go.
Yes.
We got to get you two connected.
Yeah, we are connected. We actually are. And then I'm going to go down the list just to shout out people taking the time to actually stream with us. Thank you from Indiana as well. So
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
check that out. All right, I'm going to go through this list here. We got what in tarnation is going on here? I love it.
Bunch of crazy dudes.
All right, keep on going and do a little shout out. Good God evening, everyone. But I think that's supposed to be good evening. But we are pastors, so hey.
Hey.
All right, we got salute my fellow veterans here. I love it. Shout out. We also got Tom's Food Factory. I thought all drills was for good. Come on, it is. It is.
100% is. It is.
He is the great equalizer and brings people together. Amen to that. We've got Jordan. That's great. You have an awesome platform. That's what I 100% agree.
We're just humbled to do it.
Another let's see. You've got Tom here.
Tim, howdy.
What else we got here? Scott, this is a great show. That's super kind. It's our
What's up from Virginia? That's Ben DeBoard. I know that dude.
Okay.
Right,
it's our first one, so we hope it's a good one.
Hey.
And I think that covers all of the comments. I was seeing them
Perfect.
get lit up. So
Yeah.
make sure we hit all the comments.
Love
That's
it.
cool. Thank you guys for watching, guys, and tuning in.
So obviously this is the first show, and so we wanted to be able to say, hey, this is who I am, but we want to find out who this dude is. So Scott, talk about like how you got started in barbecue. And if you all don't follow Scott, like Scott's seasoning, his sweet red dirt, y'all, it is probably in my top 3. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna
That's too
you
kind.
other companies that are watching, I still love you, but this is legit. And Scott, like I'm just honored to call you a friend, but also like Scott was the first person to take a chance on us as any kind of creator or any kind of be able to promote products. So I'll always be grateful for you. So like it's cool that we get to be full circle now and do this together. So but
Yes.
talk about your journey.
Yeah, man. It's similar in the sense of 2020 COVID, but I'm gonna take a step back before that. So I've always been into grilling, not barbecuing, but very similar. Kind of raised in a household where my dad was a griller. My grandpa he was a grocer, and so we would drive up to a small town called Okie. Well, it's technically not real small, but small compared to where I'm from. And I would go get to visit him in the grocer, and then he would always cook just the best food. So I've always had an affinity to food. And then anytime like I had a big milestone, specifically, it was like after college, first house, my dad would buy a grill as kind of that milestone gift. So it's just kind of our thing as father son. He grilled, and he knew I loved it. And so since then, I would say I started getting into smoking probably in 2017, 2018. So whenever COVID hit, a friend of mine and I were just talking how we could use that season to not consume, but to create.
Yeah.
And because it would have been easy just to binge watch, Netflix, although I mean, I'm not going to say I definitely binge watched some shows during that season,
Yeah.
but the conversation was like, let's use this season. We don't know how long it's going to be. Let's create and not just consume. And so for me, I was like, man, I love cooking. Specifically, I love grilling and barbecuing. Definitely was not an expert, and I don't consider myself an expert now, but learned a lot since I've started. And so that got me on the journey of cooking. And I remember a mentor telling me, Scott, you need to find a hobby. And I tried all the things, dude. I tried biking, and the spandex thing got made fun of driving on and I live in Chicago. I was like, don't do that. Tried a marathon, did it once in Chicago. I hated running. I even gained weight running. I was like, dude, I'm definitely doing this wrong. So finally got into saying, I love grilling, barbecue, got into it, started posting on Instagram as the first thing, not knowing what I was doing, had no intention outside of just a hobby, a place to have creative expression outside of my church, out of the church. So it's very similar stories. Like, man, I just need another outlet. And so that's where it started. I met some amazing people in the barbecue world online. It started on Instagram. James from Smoking Dad Barbecue, to name one, became a good friend, and so many more. I found people that were doing it and way ahead of the journey, was able to ask questions on like, how do you do this? It not only just continue to grow, like how do you do this and cook, but actually how do you do this from a platform standpoint? But my intention was never to do that in the beginning. It was just a hobby. And then over the years, starting to research a little bit. Okay, this could be more than just a hobby. Maybe this could be a business. And then also with my pastoral heart, like, could this be also another way for me to be a light and something outside of the walls of the church? And so it became more like I call it a purpose-driven business now. It's like I want to have a purpose behind it's not about making money. It's about, obviously it doesn't hurt, but you want to help make a difference in people's lives. And so that's what got me on the journey of creating my own seasoning and not just having content, but I want to connect with people. I want to have 10% of what our business makes to make a difference and support guys like you and your mission. And so that's kind of how it evolved, is from a hobby to content creation and helping other people, learning and continuing to perfect the craft of barbecue and grilling. which I feel like I'm still on. I'm still always growing, but it's opened some doors to some amazing brands that you mentioned that if even advanced my skill set, and people
Yeah.
take chances on you to, hey, will you come and cook with us over here at this
Yeah.
event? Then you're challenging yourself as someone that maybe cooks for your family, or maybe even before you got into cooking for thousands. It's like that first time to cook for more than
Yeah.
10 people to for 100 people, and doing a live event. Like, you just grow as not only a person, but you're a skill set to
Yeah.
actually to do a live event cooking for people, and that pressure and that excitement. And that started happening, and I was like, okay, glad. I never would have thought I would be doing live cooking shows or cooking. I even have done cooking, for a brand. Whenever COVID, we would do live classes during COVID, and that actually really opened the door of cooking for other people.
Yeah.
I started online, and then it moved eventually to in-person events. And then now, which then gave me the confidence to be, if I'm transparent, to actually then start cooking more for broader people in my own city, and then
Yeah.
very similar to you, people at church here that you can cook and love barbecue. They ask you, will you cook for this Bible study,
Yeah.
this event, this pantry, or for this nonprofit? So I've done turkeys for different nonprofits. So that's kind of how it evolved. And I feel like I'm still on the journey of discovering how to continue to grill for good. But it's become clear as years gone on that I want this to be purpose driven, and not just because we're out here cooking.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes this special. Like, obviously both of us have products that we try to sell, but like the first priority really is like, we want more people to learn about barbecue. We want more people to be out there doing good in their communities. And so I think,
Yep.
Scott, like, talk about that a little bit. Like your journey. I know we've talked back and forth of like people are asking the questions like, how do we do this? How do we get out and put meat in the food pantry? How do we get out and feed people, feed people for free? Or I had a
Yep.
guy text the other day and he's like, can I really just drop food off at a shelter? I'm like, well, usually you need to call, but
Yeah.
like, yes, like they will take stuff. There is
Yes.
some legalities when you get into it, but talk
Yes.
about that even for you. Like, what have you found?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, I think I would say you're way more advanced at cooking for the masses for the food pantry, just because where you are in the state of your nonprofit. But
Yeah.
as far as like where to start, is just I would say, like, find honestly, this is where I actually would start. I would actually start. This may feel counterculture, but like, start with your neighbors. Like,
Yeah.
that's actually how it started for me. Was like, people, I'm out in the backyard cooking, and I know not everybody loves their neighbors. I know it's not everyone has like close relationships with their neighborhood, but if you do, or even if you don't, this will be our pastoral challenge to you. Would be,
Love your neighbor.
man, yeah, man, cook for it. We know food brings people together, so cook for your neighbor. Or if someone's sick in the neighborhood, or they lost a loved one, that's where it started for me. Is like, I just started cooking for my neighbors for different reasons, if they were sick or just if for fun, like summertime. Say, hey guys, I'm gonna cook a bunch of stuff, and love for you to give me feedback, what you think. So it started for me. It started small, and then it moved into, like, because we're involved at church. People hear that you love barbecue, so I started
Mm.
doing Bible studies for about 100 people at a time, and then some nonprofits reached out and started cooking for nonprofits for the holiday. And then we have a food pantry that we're a part of, that our church is a part of, and they've told me that, yeah, that, hey, we'll take it. You can just cook it, vacuum seal it, but then you need to put a date on it. And that's some things that I think you can give great advice on how to do it for food pantries. But I've also done it for, the police force,
Yep.
and
That's what
things
I'm
like.
saying. That's how we really got started. Is we started feeding like fire stations, dude. Firefighters will give you some good feedback real
Yeah, they
quick
will.
on if your barbecue's good or not. And that's what's awesome is loving your neighbor. I mean, firefighters, teachers, we just signed up. I tell you what, I think I'm booked up 3 days for Teacher Appreciation Week in May. We love going out and jumping into schools and saying, hey, we'd love to feed teachers because civil service, people that are out there serving your community, that is a huge deal. So
Yep, I agree. We got Corey also just jumped on. Hey, man.
Corey's another good one.
We appreciate you guys popping in. Let us know what questions you have as we're just chit-chatting, telling our stories and how we got here. If you do have any thoughts or questions, let us know. But yeah, I think that's some great practical advice on how to grill for good. Like while we did it, how we started.
Yeah.
And I think where I'm trying to grow now, and I'm taking my cue from you, Jordan, is how do I start doing it for the masses? And specifically like food pantries, because I've got the green light from my food pantry, like to cook for them. And I've done small things, but to start doing like enough for 100, we have about 100 family units that come through our food pantry every other week. And I may not be able to do every other week, but what would it look like to start small? And that's where I've been leaning on you to go, man, show me how you do the vacuum sealing. You see your label for how you do your labels. So maybe you might talk about that, and that's big dreams. Maybe another podcast we can talk just about that, but highlight how do you do it?
Yeah, I think you got to figure out what works for your area. I'm even split on. I'm in the middle of 2 counties. One county I cannot vacuum seal. One county I can only do meal prep containers or Ziploc bags. The other county, they don't care what way it comes, as long as we have a date on it. And we're very conservative. We go 3 to 6 months out, and date is when we say the end date needs to be fully cooked. It needs to be cooked by that date. We put on there on our notes. We can even add these links, but like we put that it needs to be cooked to 165 degrees. Even though it's pre-cooked, we're trying to give some parameters of we want to make sure it's warmed all the way back up and to keep frozen. But I would say like even something we do a lot. Next Saturday is a perfect example. The way we got into doing pantries is we started serving breakfast. So we do a lot of brisket breakfast burritos, or next Saturday is Valentine's Day. We're doing red heart-shaped pancakes and doing some knockoff McGriddles is what we're doing with those.
Nice.
But you have fun with it. Like, so my family gets involved in it. I know one of my sons for sure will be with me on next Saturday. He loves serving. And so, and you can get, even if you're not a person that's knows your community well, you can probably find a pop-up shelter somewhere that would love to have your assistance. And man, it's crazy. So
you got your first question here.
Where do you see your organization in 2 years? 2 years. So our goal for this year is to really double the amount of pantries that we are in. And that was the logical goal for this year. And so we're trying to hit like 10 to 12 is our really big mark. But in 2 to 5 years, I mean, our goal is our goal is literally to be the nation's largest producer of fully cooked prepackaged meat for food pantries. And the way I see that, and this is where I think people get excited and asking us questions, I see us being able to do some packing facilities all across the nation, but I also see barbecue people that are out there watching right now or that are in our platforms hosting pop-up events. And my goal is to be able to have the funds to help fund you to do that. Like that's our big dream. And the way that would work is kind of in my head right now to start out probably that 2 to 3 year plan is we pop into a city for the weekend. We get a bunch of barbecue people together. We do a massive amount of cooking, packing. I'm thinking like big picture, 20,000 pounds on a Friday. And then we do a barbecue competition on Saturday to help raise funds for those local nonprofits. So like we could go pop in the city, bring some big names with us and go and just bless different cities and hopefully inspire people to do that on a continuous basis. So like kind of setting up and saying, here's how I would do it here and start that. So that's really that 2 to 5 year plan. I mean, I can tell you my 10-year plan is that there are Smoking Pasture Project facilities all over the United States.
Yes.
And, we're in, if there's a Tyson facility, Smoking Pasture's there. Like that's the goal. Like I'm dreaming big. And I think the barbecue community can pull that off. Like this is the one thing that we can do together. So
yes, I love that. I'm seeing different comments here. Got another one, Scott. I want to connect with you to help work with Habitat for Humanity. Sweet. Yeah. Hit me up, Bartlow's Barbecue, DM me on Instagram or wherever, however you want to do that. And we saw also your request for prayer, man. We definitely would love
for sure
praying for your granddaughter. We'll put that on there. So if you are one that prays and watches here, definitely be
absolutely
our brother here.
And I think that's part of what we want this community to be like. Our community, and like we're in this together. So praying for each other, doing life with each other, that's what it's about.
Oh, I love it, dude. The 16th of this month is her schedule to ring the bell. I love it. So I resonate with this big time because my wife just finished fighting breast cancer, and she rang the bell last year. And so that hits home. And I know the journey of going through cancer, and although not that specific one, is not easy. So we're celebrating with you as well on that celebration, and then also the continued healing that you're praying for. Yep. And so picking up your conversation like a franchise.
Like a franchise. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I love your vision, Jordan. I mean, we talked about that here. It's like next time you visit, we've talked about jumpstarting that idea of like putting something together so that we could cook for a group, but maybe spark something.
Well, I think that's what, like, for me, like being honed into the vision is, like I said, doing the events is crazy. You're going to wear yourself out doing that, but teaching people to shop, to cook, to pack, distribute, that's a model. And so like, it's a model that we can teach each other. And so like, I'm trying to spend the next couple of years, like, let me make the mistakes, y'all. Let me mess up. And then let's take this on the road and really make it a model that can go all across the country. So I mean, our goal, like I said, in the next couple of years, let me just get to the states that are around me, and let's play with how this really can look. So
I love it.
Make some mistakes. And I think that's what's humble, man. We're gonna make some mistakes. We're gonna screw some stuff up, but we're gonna have fun doing it.
Well, that's part of starting. When you have a vision and you're starting something as an entrepreneur, like, you're gonna learn along the way, and that's what it's about, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, a few other things that we talked about was our vision for this podcast. So I think you're getting the sense of our vision for this thing. But our hope is to start and continuing to inspire your generosity journey through grilling in your backyard for others. So our vision is to start introducing people on the show, either interviewing if it's an organization or an individual that's doing this well or trying to do it well, and hear their stories. And also we want to try to resource people that are trying to grill for good, that have a heart for it, that might need the support. And so we might be able to tap some grill companies and other companies to help fuel people that want to do this more. That's part of our motivation, is to bring on organizations and barbecue businesses to share their story. But also we would love for you to nominate some people, and like just average Joes and gals that want to do this. And we might have them on the show, or just quietly donate some things. Would you articulate that any different?
No, I'm saying, I know there's a couple people in here that have connections like that. Like, we want to be able to bless the people that are blessing others. And so part of this is that we get to highlight some brands, but then also the goal is eventually that we're able to do some monthly giveaways. And really, like I said, we've been a recipient of huge blessings, of tons of products. Like, I buy a lot of products, but we're blessed to get a lot of products. And so we want to be able to give back. That's part of the Smoking Pastor Project. I know Bartlow's too. They give to us. We want to be able to give out to the community too. And so we're going to be working on some really cool opportunities to give some stuff away. And so nominate people that are doing good. I met a guy today that I found out was delivering donuts every morning to our men's shelter, and it's like, man, I want to go buy that dude a gift card, like, for gas. Like, he's not a barbecue dude, but he's handing out donuts to homeless people every morning, like on his way to work. And like let's recognize those kind of people.
I love it. Hey, speaking of that, I'm going to drop in the chat a link if you want to nominate. Hey, no shame in your game. If you want to nominate yourself, someone else, or a barbecue grilling nonprofit that you think would be great on the show, that we could interview and tell their story, fill that link out, copy it, and let us know. We'd love to start planning ahead for our next shows as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm reading some comments, see if I missed anything here. We got here, Contest, you tried 150 different seedings. That's a lot. Sweet Red Dirt and that sweet stuff that's your peachy stuff.
New peachy stuff, man. I'm telling you, Scott hadn't got his yet. It's going to go out in the mail tomorrow.
I can't wait. I cannot.
It's drinkable.
I'm already dreaming up some combinations of things I want to cook with it. So we've got another here. I'm early retired and have time to fellowship with your platform.
Love it.
Dude, we're so grateful you're taking time to spend time with us. And we appreciate you keeping up the chat, man. This motivates us. So if I don't hit every comment, but thank you for continuing to share. And this is an awesome platform. I've been looking for this. That's really great.
Yeah.
And dude, thanks for. I'm glad the Lord brought you here.
Man.
Hey, looks like you got a volunteer.
Yeah, well, he already volunteers. He's
already in.
He's pulled off some wins for us for sure.
You the man. I love it, dude. Man, that's awesome. Okay, so I think that hits all the action items we talked that we wanted to hit on this our very first live podcast. Is there anything else we want to add as we close this down?
No, I think we just make sure you all are following each of us and everybody. I got to try the sweet red dirt. You got to try that sweet red dirt, man. My mom, I don't know if she's watching. My mom's usually in the background watching. My mom, I think Scott's stuff may be a step above mine in her world of sweet red dirt goes on corn and cucumbers and popcorn and everything in their house. Like that stuff, it's
one of
everywhere.
My pastors. He's like, dude, I put sweet red dirt on eggs. I was like, I've actually never done the eggs, but he loves it.
I've done it on the onions and peppers in eggs, but I haven't done it on the eggs themselves.
Yeah. Yes. Some of my products, like we're from Oklahoma, so we really wanted to target, although our stuff is for everybody, but kind of make us different. We wanted to kind of create names that were Southern and Midwestern. So sweet red dirt. So if you live in the South, you know what we have red dirt out here. So that's the spirit of that. Obviously, it's got chipotle powder and other things that make it red. And then we have Dust Bowl, which comes from the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma, and it's our garlic butter.
That's good garlic bread, y'all. Just saying, it's good on chicken. We like it, but it's good garlic bread.
We even love it on popcorn, which is so random.
Yeah.
And then our other one is All Y'all. It's our latest one, and it's an SPG. And then we have a cherry rub, cherry sauce called Heartland Hickory. But dude, I don't think, Jordan, if I told you this, I'll tease this out, and I don't have a date on this, but I've got 2 other dry rubs that I'm working on that I want to bring out this year. Maybe I'll only be able to bring out one, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited.
Ooh,
let's just say,
teaser.
Let's just say that it's not just a dry rub, it can be a mix as a tip.
Ooh.
Yeah. Both of them would be more of a dry rub, but also a mix with other ingredients to make some fun stuff.
That's a teaser, y'all.
Hey,
Scott, you didn't say, like, where can I get your products at?
Yeah, bartlowsbarbecue.com. We do direct to consumer, and then we're in 20 stores throughout the nation, but predominantly in Oklahoma. But we are in a few Ace, one Shields, but mainly bartlowsbarbecue.com.
Yeah,
man,
love it.
Oh man, so you're getting some love already on that
peach sauce, man. I'm telling you.
So you better ship that soon. I got to get me some of that.
It'll go out tomorrow.
And it works well in smoked deviled eggs. Okay.
Ooh, smoked deviled eggs.
That sounds delicious. I love it. Well, friends, man, we are grateful that you tuned in for our very first live Grill for Good podcast. This will be posted on Bartlow's Barbecue. It'll be on that podcast page, but then it should live on both of our platforms, on both of our platforms as a downloaded live podcast to rewatch and for future. We are new to the podcast world, so we even talked about before we went live. We'll try to figure out how to get on to all the other platforms. So we'll try to, you'll grow with us as we figure out all the other technology and platforms that could go on. So if you're on the road and you just want to listen to the conversation.
Yeah. Make sure you nominate somebody that you know in your area.
Absolutely. And I think that is, someone said, you know what, this is good, dude. Pray at the end. We don't, how do we want to sign it off? We didn't even talk about that. How we didn't.
I think prayer is good. We got to pray for that kid to ring his bell, but also I'm going to build a cinder block pit in my backyard. My wife is giving me the green light. Hey, your wife gave you the green light. You better go buy cinder blocks tonight.
Yes.
You know, that could change.
Well, I do. I have not only, I have a Santa Maria grill, and then I also have different fire pits. I've done open flame cooking. So it's super fun. It's one that's not easy to master, but you got to take the sequence and then figuring out how to get the fire to the point where you can actually do it really well. But it's worth doing.
We have a rule in our house that I can only have 10 of any item in our backyard. So at 9, I have to sell something before I can get number 10. So we have like this constant movement.
Yes. Well, do you want to sign us off through a prayer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
All right, let's do it, man.
Father, we love you. We thank you for everybody that's watched tonight. Lord, I pray right now that you will use this show in a mighty way to serve you and let others know that we love you so much. And Lord, that some amazing things happen through barbecue. So I pray right now that you will use food to bless so many people. So I pray that you would do that in Jesus' name. Lord, we do pray that this grandkid would ring that bell and be cancer-free. So Lord, I pray that you would do that in Jesus' name, provide healing, and praying that you would provide just longevity of health. Lord, everybody that's watching, we don't know what they're going through, but I pray that you will touch each and every one of them. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen, y'all. We'll see you next month. The first Thursday of every month, we'll be bringing you Grill for Good, and we can't wait. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. We'll see you.